What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey, and today we're going to talk about this NFL Monday night matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a quick look at this matchup. All right, so first and foremost, this game will be played at 8:15 p.m. East Coast time, Monday night in Denver, Colorado. The line is Denver minus 5.5. Over/under set at 41.5. Okay, currently, when you look at these two teams and what's been going on, first let's take a look at the weather before we even get into that, right? So the weather for this game is supposed to be between 41 and like 35 degrees, guys. All right, does it look like there's going to be some snow? I don't see any snow. It looks like it's going to be clear. Not too much wind either. This game will be at Mile High Stadium. All right, so, last time these two teams met was way back on November 26, 2023. Cleveland lost 12-29 to Denver. All right, so that was last season. The Denver Broncos can take a major step toward a postseason berth when they host the Cleveland Browns on Monday night. Denver's 7-5 and has won 2 straight games since falling to division rival Kansas City on a last-second blocked field goal. The Broncos enter Week 13 holding the 7th and final AFC playoff spot, and their bye awaits on the other side of Monday Night Football to reset them for the home stretch. Optimism's on the rise in the Rocky Mountains after the Broncos completed a season sweep with the Las Vegas Raiders with a 29-19 road win last week. Cortland Sutton said, "To come here and take care of business and get the win, the tide is turning. The Broncos are in the spot and we want to be in, back in the AFC West race, and that's an exciting spot to be in." All right, Cortland Sutton said that post game. All right, to notch their 8th win of the campaign, which would match last year's total, the Broncos will have to defeat the Cleveland Browns, team that has won 2 of its past 4 games since Jameis Winston took over the helm at quarterback for the injured and often bum player, you know what I'm saying, in Deshaun Watson. The Browns are 3-8. They got 10 days between games after surprising the Pittsburgh Steelers with a 24-19 win on Thursday Night Football. Winston threw for 219 yards and ran for a touchdown in the snow. Okay, now the Browns are 3-8, like I said, and Winston and the Broncos coach Sean Payton overlapped with the New Orleans Saints in 2020 and 2021. Winston became Payton's starter for the part of the 2021 season and went 5-2 when Payton on Wednesday praised his former quarterback, saying his natural leadership abilities should not be discounted for this 30-year-old's talent. Now, he has a tremendous arm strength, and he can get the ball down the field. He can get rid of it, and he can still slide up in the pocket and run, even though he looks like a baby gazelle when he runs. Now, Cleveland's season may look lost on paper, but Winston is bringing positive vibe after the team's ugly 1-6 start under Deshaun, the massage parlor Watson, after downing both the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Can the Browns trip up another AFC team above 500? That's the question, right? So getting a win in this league is important regardless of who the opponent is, says Jameis Winston. And I know this is a great defense. I know that it's a young kid from Alabama that's playing some great football right now. So I think that will be an important win for the Cleveland Browns to go and scratch away at Denver. That's how Jameis is feeling right now. He's talking about the young quarterback from Alabama, Bo Nix, man, former Auburn and Oregon star, who followed up a 307-yard, 4-touchdown game against the Atlanta Falcons with 273 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Las Vegas Raiders. Nix has been sacked just once in each of the Broncos' last 2 wins, but facing Myles Garrett is another prospect entirely, man. The reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year had 3 sacks and a forced fumble against Pittsburgh and was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Garrett ranks amongst the league leaders with 10 sacks, 13 tackles for loss, and 3 forced fumbles. This game also brings Cleveland receiver Jerry Jeudy back to Denver, man. So it's a possible revenge game for Jerry Jeudy. Remember, Sean Payton said he was talentless. Okay, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be motivated to come out here and do something in this game for his team. Now, when you're looking at the injury report and who's going to be out here and who's not going to be out here for these two teams, man, of course, it's a laundry list. It's that time of the year, so you got a lot of players who are questionable. Denzel Ward, he's questionable, and unclear if he's going to play, dealing with that chest injury still. Jack Conklin, we already know he's questionable managing that knee injury. Luke Weipler, the center, he's questionable dealing with the injury as well. Their guard, we're talking about the Cleveland Browns, by the way, he's questionable dealing with the bicep injury. Literally, their whole offensive line, too deep, is all questionable, guys. And when you look over at Denver, of course, Bo Nix is going to be questionable with the hop about a back injury, but we know he'll be out there, guys. Troy Franklin's also questionable with the shoulder injury. He'll most likely be out there too. Ben Powers is questionable with the shoulder injury, so I think he'll be out there as well, guys. All right, so but they are still without Luke Watner. He's still on IR, the center. Okay, so looking at how these two teams have played statistically, right? You're looking at a team in the Cleveland Browns who's averaging 16.9 points per game. They're the 30th worst offense in the NFL. And Denver's averaging 16.8 points per game they give up. That's the second best defense in the NFL, guys. Cleveland, they only get 4.5 yards per play. That's the worst offense in the NFL. And they're going against the best defense, number one. They only give up 4.7 yards per play. As far as third down's concerned, Denver does give it up a little bit on third down. They only let you allow teams to convert 36.31% of the time, and they're going against a Cleveland team who's the worst third down converting team in the NFL. They're last, dead last. They only convert 26.97% of the time. Remember though, a lot of these stats come from when Deshaun Watson was there, man. And that's what the biggest problem is for this team, man. Deshaun Watson was an albatross. He was a cross on their back that's been holding them back, man. And Jameis Winston has breathed life back into this team. Now, when you're looking at Denver's offense on the season is averaging 22 points per game. They're going against a Cleveland defense who has fallen really off the track, man. They're like this season, they're giving up 24.3 points per game, and last year they were one of the best defenses in the NFL. So it's a lot of things that have changed in Cleveland as far as how good their defense is. And then when you're talking about converting on third down, well, Denver does convert on third down 37.27% of the time, but they're going against a Cleveland defense who's the seventh best in the NFL. They only allow you to convert on third down 34.27% of the time. However, they do give it up if you get to the red zone and let you check that box 62.50% of the time. That's 23rd in the NFL, man. They give up 2.9 touchdowns a game, and they're going against a Denver team who actually gets 2.3 touchdowns a game, and when they get to the red zone, they check the box 57.5% of the time, so they do score. How they gonna move the ball? Well, we all know Cleveland's gonna try to run the ball, but really they are the second worst running offense in the NFL. They get 3.9 yards per rush and 88.2 yards per game, only half a touchdown a game, guys. They're going against a Denver defense who is fourth best in the NFL in total yards per rush, and sixth best in total yards. They give up 3.8 yards per play, 96.2 yards per rush. So Cleveland ain't gonna be running the ball. What about Denver? Is Denver gonna be running the ball? Well, they got an opportunity because Cleveland lets you get 4.7 yards per rush, and Denver's been getting 4.2. Both are middle of the pack teams, man. Now, when you're looking at will they be able to pass the ball, well, there will be a little bit of opportunity there for Denver. There's not going to be too much because Cleveland's got literally the 29th worst pass defense in the NFL. They give up 7.9 yards per play, but at full game they only give up 214.4. So that's 29th to middle of the pack. So they're really just a middle of the pack defense against the pass. And Denver, they are a middle of the pack passing team, man. They only get 6.4 yards per pass, 201.9 yards per game, guys. And we all know Denver's defense is one of the best. They're second best against the pass, and we all know Cleveland, they really might not be able to pass, especially, nothing to take away from Jameis Winston, but at the end of the day, man, Jameis Winston's going to go against one of the best defensive backfields in the NFL in this Denver Bronco defense, man. In the last 3 games, Cleveland has been scoring 16 points per game, giving up 27 points per game, and they've been converting on third down just 25% of the time, guys. They score in the red zone 50% of the time in the last 3 games, so that gives you a better look at what Jameis has been doing. And they're going against a Denver team who have been scoring 27 points a game and only giving up 13.7, guys. All right, yeah, there's definitely opportunity for Denver here, guys, especially since their offense is executing at a little bit higher rate. They're getting 48.72% of the time they convert on third down, and they score touchdowns 70% of the time that they get in or towards the red zone. And Cleveland allows you to score a touchdown recently 75% of the time, and allows you to convert on third down 42.5% of the time. So that Cleveland defense has been falling off, man. Definitely strong lean towards Denver at this point. When you're looking at how these two teams play at home and on the road, right now Cleveland's only averaging 15.4 points on the road and giving up 24.4. Guess what? Denver scores 24.4 and gives up 14.8, guys. So it's definitely an opportunity, once again, leaning towards Denver. That should show you everything you need to see. The line is at 5.5. I feel that line is correct. When you're looking at how these two teams have played so far this season, we all know Cleveland's 3-8 straight up. Denver's 7-5 straight up. At home, Denver though is 3-2, and on the road, Cleveland is 1-4, guys. Against the spread, Denver is 3-2 as a home team, and as a home favorite, they're 3-0, guys. Whereas Cleveland on the road, all right, they're 2-3 against the spread, and as an away underdog, they're 2-1. All right, now when you're looking at over-unders, it's been 5 to the over, 6 to the under for Cleveland, and 7 to the over, 5 to the under for Denver. When Denver's at home, it's 3 to the over, 2 to the under, and when they're a home favorite, it's 2 to the over, 1 to the under. Whereas with Cleveland, when they're on the road, it's 2 to the over, 3 to the under. While they're on the road as an underdog, it's 1 to the over, 2 to the under. All right, so at the end of the day, guys, understanding what's going on, looking at these two teams, just the last 3 games, right? Last 3 games, Cleveland is 1-2. All right, in the last 3, they did beat Pittsburgh, but they lost to New Orleans, okay, and they lost to the Chargers. All right, they only were able to muster 10 points against the Chargers, and they were at home in that game, guys. As far as they're on 2 overs and 1 under. Then when you look at their next 3 games, they got Pittsburgh coming up, so it's definitely look ahead spot. Kansas City, and then Cincinnati. All right, whereas when you're talking about Denver, their last 3 games were against Vegas, Atlanta, and Kansas City, and they're 2-1 in those and 3-0 against the spread with 1 over and 2 unders, guys. Their next 3 games are against Indiana, the Chargers, and Cincinnati. Okay, so at the end of the day, right now, when I'm looking at these two teams, I got to understand the trends. And the trends say that Cleveland Browns have hit the game total over in 13 of their last 21 games. Denver Broncos have hit the first half money line in 13 of their last 21 games. And the Denver Broncos have covered the first half spread in 13 of their last 21 games. Cleveland Browns have hit the first half game total over in 13 of their last 21 games. And the Cleveland Browns have hit the second half game total over in 10 of their last 17 games. The Denver Broncos have also covered the spread in 14 of their last 21 games, and the Cleveland Browns have hit the second quarter game total over in 10 of their last 18 games. The Denver Broncos have hit the second quarter game total over in 12 of their last 18 games, and the Cleveland Browns have hit the fourth quarter money line in 9 of the last 18 games. The Denver Broncos have also hit the money line in 12 of their last 21 games, and the Cleveland Browns have hit the third quarter game total over in 11 of their last 19 games, guys. So which way am I leaning? Which way am I going? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm with Denver, man. I like Denver in this game. I like Denver to score over the 22.5 points. So lock would be Broncos over 22.5. And I guess I would have to say Denver minus 5.5 or 5. But I think the Browns will have a chance in this game per se. But their defense is just, I don't think their defense is going to be good enough. I just don't. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just don't. So I would really put in, or probably going to get to the window with the Broncos over the 22.5. Lean Broncos minus 5.5, and yeah, possible over in this. No, under 41.5, because I think that the Broncos will do some scoring in this game. It's just, I don't think the Browns are going to get over 15 points, man. So you might want to look at the Browns under their 19.5. That's actually a good look. Browns might under 19.5, Broncos over 22.5, and then the leans would be for the Broncos minus the 5.5, guys. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I hope y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe. I hope Turkey Day was good for everybody. Black Friday didn't kill your pockets. And I hope you'll be able to get to the window, man, because I'm definitely going to see you there, man. Have a blessed day. Stay safe. And I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.